So, ladies and gentlemen, fanboys and girls, nerds, bees, and otaku, welcome back and welcome home.
Hello there, Applebites. This is your Applebite WrittenWrit Ralph talking to you straight from our show here, the WrittenWrit. So where you and I get creative, have fun, and geek out. And folks, it is time to get all geeky because we're getting ready to go to CradleCon this weekend. And those you see before you will be there at CradleCon, having fun, geeking out, taking pictures, doing all the cool stuff. So, guys, are you guys all ready and excited for Cradle?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Totally.
It's one of my favorite conventions. I like the fact that it's in the Cradle of Aviation, so you get a double experience of the con itself and the museum. And they have video games that you don't have to pay quarters for.
That's the best part.
I might not be walking around a lot. It's okay.
Oh, man. It has been busy here. I haven't had a chance to rest. I feel like this convention season just has a convention after convention after convention. Has it been the same for you guys?
Yes.
Totally. I was at CPAC a couple of weekends ago, and that just felt so overstimulating. Like, it's like, well, this con season is in full swing already.
It feels like it shouldn't be, but it is. And I'm like trying to figure out why. Because I feel like this is, it doesn't, I don't think it's different than any other year. It just feels bigger. I don't know.
Does it truly end is the question. It seems very perpetual to me. I don't know. It just, from November, I think the only respite was like between January and December. And then February started up again. So anyway.
And you're right, but it was funny because January had a couple of cons already. So usually you do get a respite. You get that little break. You get January, February. And then in March, they all start to trickle in. But I feel like it was like January, February, March.
I'm saying, people like geeking out. I don't know.
You got to have some fun.
Yeah, I'm excited to get back, man. I haven't been to many cons of late, so this one is very high up on my excitement charts.
That's right. You're going to be tabling and showing off all your great stuff over there, right?
Yes, sir. I guess I should probably start working on something. Get my table together here.
I feel like you've been working on stuff already. All right. Now that I got all that set and ready to go. Oh, there's Shadow Rabbit in his beautiful face. All right, folks. Let's see. You know what, Stephanie? Let's start off with you.
You're the one
all
with
the people, all the beautiful stuff. Give them the spiel. Give them all the good stuff. Let them know who you are and what you do.
So I'm Stephanie, in case nobody is the first time over here, and I am a cosplay photographer. I've been doing cosplay photography since 2019. So, and I go to all the conventions in the New York City area, or at least I try to. So, and I like taking photos of everybody in their cosplays. Anybody's passionate about it, I take photos of.
And you do a good job.
Thank you.
Let's see if I can show some of that off.
Mhm.
Computer's acting up on me, but let's get it up there. Yeah, there it is. Boom. And your first one, there you go. All
Yay.
ready for the cradle. All right, folks. Let's see. Oh, you are all over the place, aren't you?
Yeah. So for Brooklyn Comic Con, I'm actually only going to be there for Saturday because I was asked to do something for that Sunday that weekend. So
It's funny because I usually go to Brooklyn for both days, but then I decided to go play Pokemon Go that Sunday because they're doing the thing in Jersey, and I've never been to one of the PokeGo fests, so I'm like I'm gonna go.
Oh, nice. Wow. I haven't played Pokemon Go in such a long time, only because like I've been so busy with work and everything else going around. But I
Well,
hope you have fun.
it gets difficult though because like there's times where you're at events and the Poke events are happening at the same time, and you're like,
Yeah.
I guess I can't play today.
I always wanted to check out like the ones that they have in Chicago. I think that's where they have like another Pokefest too.
Every year it's in a different place. This year it's New Jersey, Paris,
Oh.
and I forget the third one. So if
All
anybody in the
right.
audience remembers,
Okay, totally expanded.
dude, these pictures you take are fantastic.
Thank you. Yes, yes. Those are from CPAC a couple of weekends ago. So that was a fun convention. Perfect way to get me warmed up for this year for sure.
So when you're taking pictures, because you take both pictures, you take the cosplay pictures, you take regular pictures. You know, you're a photographer completely. Um, what do you look for in your composition and what you're looking at? Because I know the photographer's eye.
Yeah.
Um, and it's different for each photographer. So with you, what is it you're looking for when you're taking your picture?
I just look for little moments that nobody tends to notice, or at least something that notices well enough to me. It's just like, huh, this looks a little bit more interesting. Like this person has a way of dressing up themselves in a different way, or this person, kind of mimics that character. And when I do event photography, I try to look for like little snippets of moments, especially like the on seniors that nobody necessarily pays attention to.
Right.
So it's like I keep my eyes open everywhere. So, and if you ever see me at a convention or at an event, and if you see me kind of wandering around, I'm not being rude. That's just me fixated on work. I am listening, but I'm just like looking at like five different directions at the same time.
I get what you're saying because there's times where I'm talking to somebody and I have um shot ideas coming through my head at the same time that I'm talking to the person, and it gets worse when I'm doing the interview because
Yeah.
I'm at the same time I'm like, well, this would look good and this would look good and then this would.
Exactly. Like 50 things pop up all at once in your head, and you're trying to figure out which one you want to go with.
Exactly. There goes Andrew. Not bad. Hello, everyone. It's Andrew. Dude, I gotta say, what I do like about what you do is that you don't just go for the cosplay picture, meaning
Mhm.
the scene and all this and that. You actually capture people doing their cosplay in a natural way.
Oh yeah, totally. Like I try not to see or do any altercations when I'm in post production unless somebody asks me very nicely, like if I could touch up something, or if I see something that just seems a little bit out of sorts, then of course I'll fix it up. But other than that, it's just like that's all them. That's their work. That's their display of affection and love for the character that they bring.
I noticed that especially since we're talking Cradle and all that, you guys have started doing these special Cradle of Aviation shoots.
Yeah, so my first time actually going to Cradle Aviation Museum was back in December, and that was for pros and cons event for Fallout. Now we did have one back in August, and it was over at Wade's Salvage Junkyard in Jersey. But for the first one, Fallouts, which is great. By the way, pros and cons are going to be over at CreatorCon this weekend. They're going to have like this big vault door that everybody's going to go see that they could go in and out. So
I saw
definitely check it out.
that Cradle had put that up, and I was like, "Oh, this is interesting."
Yeah, so it's going to be there. And then the second time, which was organized by Mark Lugo and Rod, that we put together a Marvel Zombie versus DC Vampire shoot. And that was a blast that day.
That's awesome.
Yeah. And funny enough, the theme for New York Comic Con this year is going to be monsters. So we manifested that energy to happen.
Oh, totally. They went down that route. I was like, hey, I think you guys have been watching other cons.
Oh, yeah. But that shoot was like the perfect day for the shoot because it was starting to get very warm. Everybody was getting into like the cosplay convention spirits. We just had a ball that day.
Yeah, I knew I passed by it, so I was like, "Hey, let me go back." Dude, it looks fantastic, and I like the fact that we're going out there and we're doing stuff like this. It's making it more than just con stuff,
Right. The whole thing is just that we just want everybody to get together, just to have photos, get together, take photos, make content, and just hang out. Because we're all pretty scattered all over the place. Like some people just came from New Jersey, others are out in Long Island. So it's good that we kind of like figure out a place where we could just like conjugate and just geek out and do whatever we want to.
That's a good thing. That's a really good thing.
Yeah.
And the more geeking out, the happier I am. I know that much. And I feel like everything needs its spotlight, and I feel cosplay is finally getting the bigger spotlight. It's not just something that happens at cons.
Exactly. So everybody's getting more involved. Everybody's getting more creative with their cosplays, even, especially in nowadays. Like I know they announced like with the whole tariff situation. I'm going to get a little political over here. The whole tariff situation said now everybody's kind of like rethinking bringing out any closeted cosplays or just thinking a little bit more outside the box, even just to keep that momentum going.
Oh, definitely. But it's the good thing about cosplay is that sometimes you have to think about outside the box. You have to figure out what you're going to do.
Exactly. So, and you'd be surprised, like how some people, even like, years ago, that they just find something in their closet and it's like, this could work.
Yeah.
And it turned out to be perfect. All they needed to do was just to buy a wig on Amazon or whichever, and they're set to go.
And it's so funny because I know I feel like the cosplay has gotten to a point now where you can actually do that. You don't get made fun of if your costume is something that you kind of like put together like that, because I know for a while there, there was a couple times where somebody would come in with one of those types of outfits and people would be like all over them going, "Oh, what do you think you are? Yeah, you're a cosplayer. You're not a cosplayer."
I think just what makes them really great is just the originality, and you can tell it's homemade. That means someone really thought about what they were doing and trying to, make it their own, which is really cool. I mean, some of these photos are just amazing, Stephanie. It was really cool.
Oh, thank you. Yeah. Well, that one that you just passed, she actually homemade that cosplay altogether. Like she pulled that stuff out of her closet, and it looks great. And it's her original character. She was telling me about that. This was at Fan Fair this year at High School of Arts and Design. So, and I've seen her a couple of times, but this is like the first time I actually interacted with her. So, and that's another thing I'm starting to notice is that people making their own characters, their original characters, and bringing that to life.
Yeah.
So it's just like, yes, like I want to see more of that too.
Yes. And I feel like we gotten to that point now where we can do that, because I've seen when I would see it, people will get made fun of, but now I feel like You can be your own character. Speaking of own
Exactly.
character.
Well, I've always said Peter Parker is the original cosplayer, man. He was just drawn really well. You know, I mean, they're sewing his suit together and everything. So, yeah. This
There
is
you
like
go.
back in the 60s, yeah.
I can agree with that. I can see Peter Parker. He put his thing together.
Definitely before Tony Stark. So, anyway.
Great video.
Thank you. Jen, that was her brilliant idea of having at least one of us, look through the camera and just have cosplayers like, sneaking up and then turning around. She's like, oh, they're just dancing. They're just goofing off. And it's with that TikTok trend, anxiety.
Yeah.
So it's just like, yes, I'll do it only because it's that trend.
It's perfect. Oh.
Yeah, I think that video, like I've seen it like so many times, just like that's what encapsulated. It's just like it's everybody, having fun. Everybody just kind of like letting loose, and that's what we honestly need. We need to let loose, and they totally let loose right there.
That's the whole fun of all this is becoming that character, becoming something else. And as somebody who plays D&D, it's that thing that I love is when the person becomes their character.
Exactly.
This is beautiful.
Thank you. Yes, that was at a cosplay fashion show back in February that I got invited to very last minute. So that was a fun experience too. During Fashion Week too.
It's funny that you say that because I had done an interview recently with someone who does cosplay fashion shows, and I've known him since like forever.
Nice.
And he was doing it back then when we first did the interview with him, which was 10 years ago.
Totally different now than 10 years ago, huh?
Yeah, 10 years ago he was doing a Star Wars fashion show.
Oh, that sounds
So he was ahead of
awesome.
the curve. Oh man, yeah, I love again another thing that you figure somebody would have thought about ages ago. A cosplay fashion show sounds like a great idea.
If anything, I feel like that it's going to be a little bit more common for sure. Just showcases altogether.
Because technically speaking, fashion shows are cosplay already.
Yeah.
Let's see. Andrew's saying you have a gift of capturing natural shadows and light.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. If just to give everybody like a little snippet, I mostly do natural lighting. It was only until like a few months ago that I started playing around with LED lights. So, but yeah, most of the time it is natural lights.
Yeah, you have a way of doing it because I've seen you at a bunch of different events now, and each event you seem to figure out how to capture who you're taking the picture of and then making them pop.
Yeah. A lot of that has to do with a lot of street photography that I studied in college. So just learning a lot of composition, a lot of lighting, a lot of like what's like the best angle that I could go at.
Yeah, you've figured it out.
Years and years of practice.
And I'm happy you're saying that because I know there's people out there who I want to be a photographer and they kind of gave up like right away. And I'm like, no, you got to keep practicing. You got to keep going. Like everything else, you got to keep practicing.
There's a saying that goes, it's like the first 10,000 photos that you'll ever take are going to be your absolute worst, but your 10,001, that's when you start getting good.
I can completely agree with you.
Yes.
There's stuff I took early on when I was first starting to do this that I'm like, ew.
Yeah, even like some of my old college stuff that sometimes I look back and just like, oh, I did that. It's like, what was I thinking?
Wow.
Yes.
That is some costume.
Critical Mask, which I believe he's going to be there at CradleCon this weekend as well.
Cool.
Yeah.
So how many photo shoots do you have set up already?
So I do have 3 so far happening this Saturday, but I do have a couple of more off-site shoots that I'm going to the next couple of weekends. So
Yeah.
can't really say which ones. So just stick to and follow my page just to see any updates. That's all I can say about it.
I mean, you guys want to do that because she's constantly doing something. I'm constantly talking to her. She's like, Ralph. I'm like, uh-oh.
Yeah. And then be like, sorry, I meant to respond back to you, but I'm busy doing this and that. And then it's just like, oh, I see the post. Okay.
Oh yeah, usually I'm like, I saw what you were doing. Don't worry about it.
It's like, I'm not being rude, I swear.
This the Christmas train?
Yes.
Ah, I thought so. Okay.
Yeah, that was a fun ride.
Because I know people already dress up to get on the train. So and all these people seem to be fitting the motif.
Yes. So that event was actually organized by Critical and another cosplayer that she cosplays a lot as Harley Quinn. So they wanted to get a group of cosplayers and some photographers together just to ride along the train. So, and everybody was, very welcoming. They were saying nice compliments to all the cosplayers, anybody that dressed up very vintage New York, that they were just having fun doing so that day.
Yeah, because I had seen the regular pictures on I guess the regular news.
Yes.
And I was like, oh, cool, people are dressing up. But it's so funny how they framed that because they try to stay away from people or cosplaying.
Yes.
I don't get it. But again, our geek culture gets a lot of weird looks, even when it's accepted.
Yeah.
Whew.
And that's the Fallout shoot.
I like this one.
Oh my God, the sweetest dog ever. Very hyperactive. Loves to play around. So I hope I get to see her soon again. She's very, very sweet to
Very
be
heroic
around.
looking here.
Thank you.
I gotta say, this warehouse lends itself to some great pictures.
Oh yeah, no, like when Rod mentioned that we were going to be shooting there and he gave us a little snippet of how the layout is, it was just like, okay, we're going to have a blast there. So
Oh yeah, I was actually at the shoot. Oh, there's me.
there you are.
Somebody looks familiar.
The one thing I remember about the photo shoot was how blistering cold it was that day. And
Yeah.
we were working, so I had to go there.
I gotta say, I gotta give you guys credit when you guys are doing the photo shoots, and I've helped out my partner with her photo shoots, and the fact that it's cold and you can't tell that it's cold on the person whose picture has been taken, that's always a compliment.
Up,
It makes you feel any better, Abigail. Like I had to stop around 4 o'clock because I was frozen stiff. Like I couldn't take any more photos because just like, can we just go inside the museum and take photos now?
So Abigail, now that we have you here, why don't you tell the people all the good stuff that you do? Go ahead, give them the spiel.
Oh, I don't want to steal her spotlight. No.
Oh no, this is how it works, and it was a great segue, so I'm going to take it.
Fine, since I'm on the spot. Okay, so for anyone who doesn't know, my name is Abigail, or McHeretic on social media. I've been cosplaying. Well, this year will be my 8th year cosplaying, and there's the gang. I am the admin of Robot Cosplayers. I'm also co-admin of Rebels of Cybertron, as you see here. Let's see what else. Let's see how. I guess I'll start with how I got into cosplay. Like,
there you go.
It dates back to like 2011 when I first discovered it. I was traveling with my family and I came across 2 girls all dressed up as Sonic the Hedgehog characters, literally at a restaurant. I'm like, oh my God, I got to get a picture with these girls. They were actually the ones who filled me in on like what cosplay is and Comic-Cons and everything. And there just so happened to be one like right across the street from where we were at the time.
Oh, cool.
course, sadly, I didn't get a chance to stop by. Like, just maybe about a couple years later, I did my first cosplay, um, which was Zelda, Princess Zelda, the Twilight
Nice.
Princess version. Like every year since, I did like cosplay themed birthday parties for like all ages,
Cool.
and from there, what was it, like 2016 or 2017? I went to my first convention, which also happens to be at the Cradle of Aviation. Long Island Retro was my first con,
Ah,
and
we like
like
Long Island Retro.
around the same time frame, I went to a local comic book expo, which I think was run by Nancy Silvercleat, who is like the original creator of the Archie comics.
Right.
So yeah, like from the first time I went to that con, it just kind of took off from there. I started becoming more committed to cosplay, like especially after
I gotta say, this thing we're seeing right here, that's commitment.
yeah, Needle one of my biggest builds so far.
Dude, it's amazing. It's beautiful. How long did it take you guys to do this one?
About 3 months with this one.
Oof.
Yeah, about the same amount of time it took to make another build that I will be debuting at Cradle of Aviation.
You heard it, folks.
I'll give you
Debuting.
a sneak peek.
Ooh, hold on, I'll put you up.
Oh, I was not kidding. You can see it.
I can see it. There you go. It's a sneak peek, folks. So you're not gonna get the whole thing. I like the fact that you completely disappeared when you put it on. I'm like, oh, invisibility cloak.
That was cool.
That was cool.
Yeah.
What's amazing to me, Abigail, is that I looked at the promo that Ralph had put up for the show, and it had you in cosplay in front of my booth. So I met you last year. I didn't realize I met you last year because you were in the Transformer outfit. So it's really cool.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see what else.
Dude, I love Anime NYC. It's one of my favorite conventions. And you have a lot of fun when you're there.
Well, you can do. Yeah, I do.
I feel like is that the busiest con that you go to?
I think NYCC and Anime NYC are both busy cons for me. NYCC would be like the biggest con I've been to so far.
Because I know anytime I try to get together with you in both of those, we find it really hard.
Yeah, that's true. That or I'm live streaming,
Oh, definitely.
The con experience,
But I love that, and that's why I'm constantly sharing it when you're doing it, because it's one of the best ways to show the con, and it's also showing the con through your eyes as well. But at the same time, you get the feeling of the convention itself, because it's you walking through the con as you interact with everything.
In case anybody feels like left out or like they're missing out, I just bring the con experience to them.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's what I love about it. And that's what we try to do at Bit and Apple. So, that's why anytime I see you put up a video, I'm like, all right, time to share.
Yeah. I just appreciate it.
Oh. Dude, you do great work, and I feel like we need to showcase it.
Yeah.
And of course, you also
like gaming shenanigans.
I gotta say, if you guys want to watch an interesting games being played, you should check her out. It's you do it on Mondays, right?
Yeah, Mondays, 7 p.m. Eastern time. In case anybody's watching from a different time zone.
Exactly. And we do got a couple of those. Most of us do the rewatch.
Yeah, true.
So
a rerun. It's a rerun.
You are a true geek. You're into a lot of the stuff out there. Do you I know my partner, when she's at the convention, she still gets all this. If you're a girl, are you still getting that?
How often do I get those?
She gets upset because it's funny because there's times where they'll be talking about something that she's interested in, and I'm like, well, you gotta talk to her because she's the one that's interested in that. It's not my thing.
And then there are other cases where I feel awkward because Like, I don't know like much about a fandom that they know more about. Like, for example, I can't actually think of a fandom. I'm just like, oh, do you know like or somebody's like, oh, do you know how much do you know about this or that and the other thing? I'm like, I don't know much about it. It just makes you feel awkward about it, you know?
Yeah, because I always feel like when they do stuff like that, they're trying to catch you. They're trying to go, see, you're not a geek.
Yeah. Wondered,
So
you
many
know.
fandoms, dude. I mean,
There's
I can't
definitely-
remember real people's names.
Yeah, don't call them out. I don't do that.
Dude, I have trouble remembering people, so
Yeah.
oh man. Yeah, you guys gotta check out her TikTok, check out her videos. She does amazing videos.
Yeah. I have like a bigger follower count on
Yeah.
TikTok than I do on Instagram. It's currently it currently has a different name from Instagram, and that would be the Cosmic Firefox 2000, which I guess I should have named it McHeretic. Yeah.
I mean, well, they do say that you should brand yourself the same way all across, but I feel like sometimes you need to change around.
Exactly. Yeah. My content's like oversaturated with Transformers content, mostly Alita 1.
Yeah.
She will always be a favorite of mine for personal reasons.
I had a feeling because you wouldn't be playing a character the way you're playing her unless you have an attachment to the character.
Yeah. Oh, right. I guess like small, without giving too much detail, update. The Rebels of Cybertron, the group that I'm part of, we're going to be like working together with BotCon, which is a Transformers convention over in Indiana.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I saw when you put that post up.
Yeah.
That's exciting.
Oh yeah, I will also be attending TFCon over in Chicago as well. Same with the rest of the Rebels, or as many Rebels as possible, because we're like a lot of the members are like scattered across the country. We have some like outside of the country as well.
I gotta say, I love the human aspect of the Transformers that you guys do. How do the fans react to it? Because I know that a lot of them like seeing the bots aspect of thing, but I actually like seeing the human versions.
I mean, we mostly get like some positive views on it. I guess with others, they tend to get a little nitpicky.
Yeah,
but it's mostly positive.
I know some of the Transformer fandom, and they can be a lot. Yeah, folks.
The human, like with the human versions of the Transformers, we call them human formers. Hey Dax, sorry, saying hi to that.
Oh, I see.
Who also happens to be a fellow rebel.
I have Abby to thank for getting into the human Transformer.
Yeah, that would be the human formers. We call them like the human versions of Transformers.
I love the creativity.
A lot more comfortable than the huge builds that I do, like Alita 1 and Blaster. I also do Blaster. It's not as much as Alita 1.
I gotta say, I love the creativity when it comes to the way you guys pick the outfits and the human versions of the Transformers. It's an art form.
Blame Arkham Knight 22.0 or Big C Nelly on Instagram. Blame him. He's the one
folks.
Like, made the Rebels of Cybertron happen. So, yeah.
I gotta say, I've enjoyed watching you guys grow. It's been fun to see how popular you guys have become.
Yeah, we love what we do.
That's a good thing, and that's what you can see. You can actually see the passion that you guys have. You know, both of you, Stephanie and Abigail. You can see the passion you guys have, and it kind of bleeds into what your stuff.
Oh, sorry, it's not even showing up on the camera.
Abigail vanished. There we go. She's trying to show it off.
Yeah.
There we go.
I guess in the
Oh, look at that. Oh, that's beautiful.
Yes, it likes to.
That is beautiful.
Are you bringing that to Cradle this weekend?
No.
Ah.
For a
Aw.
that for myself.
You know, you know we love some big
Optimus
swords.
Prime, wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
Mhm. Oh
Yeah.
man. All right. So
Oh my word.
Queen of Darkness, are you ready for your intro?
Yeah, I think I've
Yes.
stolen the thunder for long enough. I
I
mean,
don't
the
worry about it. Everybody gets time here.
It was wonderful to learn about what you do and all the great things you have coming up. I really enjoyed it. And your photographs are amazing. You both be cool.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, here we go. Go ahead, Mistress of the Night.
Hello, I am the Queen of Darkness, a dream within a scream, Shannon Michelle Collins, Powerflix Paranormal, plus his horror hostess with the ghostess. And yes, I needed a breath in between that because that is quite a long title there. Ugh. So I am a paranormal investigator with Long Island Paranormal Investigators. I am a poet, an actress, and I do a bunch of things actually. And I really enjoy doing what I do. So, yeah.
I don't know if we've asked you before when you've been on the show. How does all this start? What's the origin story?
Which part of it? There's like multi levels because, okay. How was the Queen of Darkness born?
Yeah, there you go.
Queen of Darkness was born through Velma Dinkley. Okay, let me get.
Interesting.
Yes.
I
Okay.
didn't see that coming. Okay.
I know. Well, I've always been this way, you know. Had a had to hide a lot of who I was, I felt. Personally, it was something I put on myself. I took other people's opinions and what they would say and work. You know, I worked in a hair salon and everybody looked a certain way and they were catty. It wasn't for me, so I opened up my own salon. But I wound up when COVID happened. Well, no, let me backtrack actually, because this did. So I don't know how much you guys believe in the paranormal. So what I might say might make me sound completely insane. And that's okay because, you know, if I heard this, I might think people might be nuts. But that's all right. You know, I've had this experience. So I was doing public investigations at a location in Southampton, New York with Long Island Paranormal Investigators. There was another property that opened up that we were going to start allowing people to come and investigate. When they mentioned this property, I said this was my home. I felt connected to it. I felt that this was where I needed to be. And after some time, I finally got to go there and investigate. And with my group, I am a medium. So I wound up going into the home. They had me blindfolded before we even got there. So I didn't see what it looked like. I never heard anything about it. I didn't know the history about it or anything like that, other than we have this house. So when we got there blindfolded, I already knew we were there before the car slowed down. I knew that we were getting close to it because I could feel the energy of it. Like it felt like I was coming home. And I walked through blindfolded, pointed out everywhere that we were, stepped up on steps that I wouldn't have known were there, pointed out the staircase upstairs, pointed out the little hidden, it wasn't hidden, but you know, upstairs in the attic, they have this long cabinet, I guess, with glass that is just open like a closet, but you could run back and forth if you wanted to. And I felt there was a little girl running back and forth, and that was some of the claims that they had. So a lot of this, pretty much everything, I nailed, I guess. And I don't think that was anything other than I just felt like I was there before.
Right.
And then in time, I connected with the spirit there. I wanted to know more about her. The descendants of the family were coming to investigate with us, and I was nervous. So I went out into the garden to meditate, and I put on a specific song that I meditated to called the Lakota Lullaby. And I said, uh-oh, I messed up. I did something wrong. So sorry. And I realized that the person's wife who lived there was, I got the impression that she was murdered in the garden.
Ooh.
I felt that she was, it's a scout. Can I say that? So I don't know what I could say. Like they removed her hair. So
Mm.
I guess that's the nicest way I could say it.
That is the nice way.
So I got that confirmed through lore, I guess. They don't have actual documents of it because it was in the 1600s.
Right.
So they had actually more documented things on their pigs than they did on the women and stuff. I have to make a point of mentioning that every time I tell this story because it just is disturbing to me. But anyway, I get weird when I tell this because it brings it out. I wound up, okay, fast forward a year later, I wound up with a spirit attachment. The person who I thought I was connecting with was not who I was connecting with. It was something else completely. It
Interesting.
attached to me, it changed my entire life completely like that overnight. Even my husband at the time, we're now separated, didn't recognize me. All the friends that I had, we stopped being friends. My whole personality shift. I thought I was crazy. I kept asking the people who I was with, like, did this actually happen to me? Like, am I losing my mind? And they were like, we were there. No, this happened. What happened was I wound up channeling a spirit, and it just never left, essentially. When that happened, I had a big loss. I didn't know who I was. And I feel like what I fell in love with cosplay, and I haven't done a lot of cosplays, originals anyway.
Right.
I guess this, but I guess, but I felt like I can kind of find myself through something else, you know. And being a paranormal investigator, we had EternalCon coming up, and I was very anxious being in public, feeling the way I felt.
Right.
And I had asked, I'm like, well, since Velma Dinkley, and I always loved Scooby-Doo, since Velma Dinkley,
You know, it just makes so much sense that you did.
I'm like, since she's paranormal related, can I do that for the event and maybe it'll bring people to the table and, you know, whatever, and go from there. And what it did for me, oh, and it was so weird because on the way there, I was like, there has to be a mystery machine. I'm going to meet the person who has the mystery machine. I'm going to have my pictures taken, and then I'm going to work with them, and I'm going to travel to that. And I like had a whole plan. And they called me and they're like, you need to hurry up and get here. The mystery machine is here. We didn't know it was going to be there. Everything just worked out. They wound up everything that I planned, that I said would happen, happened for me that day. I made a lot of connections. So through Velma Dinkley is how the Queen of Darkness is born. Long story short.
That's a good origin story.
I skipped a lot of stuff there. My brain went all over the place. There was like, I didn't want to make it sad, you know, but like, it just gave me a lot of confidence. I wound up being able to find my voice through that, being that, and being able to find my own strength and what I was like, you know what, if I can go out dressed as Velma Dinkley, I can definitely go out and be who I want to be. And from there, I started modeling. I did my poetry book, and then I started modeling, and then it just kind of blew up from there, which I'm really grateful for.
It's a good thing because one thing led to another thing led to another. You know, I can see what you're talking about because each one leads to the other one.
Yeah. So, weird stories of how it all connected, but it did. It somehow all worked out. And then, you know, I wasn't Velma Dinkley. I was Velma von Dinkenstein because, you know, I had to be a creep. So, you know, it's a great time.
Well, that's good because you made her yours, you know, which is what you're supposed to do.
Yeah.
So I find the best versions are the versions where people make it their own character. give it its own spice. You know.
And so I became me, but I'm a character, I guess. Sometimes I'm like this all the time. Sometimes I'm not. You know what I mean? I know that made no sense. Sometimes
No, that makes total sense.
But I enjoy it, and I enjoy going to the conventions and seeing everybody and how everybody's unique and special and brave. You know, it takes a lot to come someplace, especially when you've made it yourself. You know, it takes a lot to present that. Plus, to wear it around all day and all those things, it's incredible. I give you all credit. Hey, that's me. That's Ludo.
There you go.
Yes, looking at you. That I love that photo shoot, by the way. It's like one of my favorite things.
I can tell because it caught your attention.
I actually was hysterical crying right before that. Actually, before most of my photo shoots.
Wow.
It's art, you know. So it's sometimes my makeup is gone by the time I get there. That was one of those moments, but it worked out. It was a nice shoot. You had the emotion there, you know, that it needed.
Yeah, sometimes you got to work it. You got to make it happen. I know that because sometimes I turn on the WrittenWrit Ralph voice because it's a whole other person.
Yes, Doug. Thanks. So, yeah, I have a lot of things in the works right now. I'm not allowed to discuss it yet.
I find that's the thing with all three of you.
Well,
it's like we're working on stuff. I can't tell you right now, Ralph. Yeah, but I get all the secrets behind the scenes, so I just don't share them.
We want to surprise everyone.
Exactly. And that's why I don't share it. Folks, you'd be amazed at the things I know that I don't tell anybody. Oh, man. All right, Mr. Shadow Rabbit, why don't you tell the people all the beautiful stuff? Because you are going to be there at the Cradle of Aviation as well, doing your beautiful Shadow Rabbit stuff.
Lewis, Shadow Rabbit, Clay Guy on Instagram, and I make little stuff out of clay, which I'll be doing at CradleCon. I've just been sitting here sculpting a bunch of I do. Super excited. CradleCon's one of my favorite shows ever. Don't
I
get
gotta
out
say,
too much anymore.
it's always fun watching you at Cradle because you know, it's the busiest you ever are, right?
I'll tell you when I get there. I hope so.
I don't know, man. Like every time we're at Cradle, we barely see you the whole con.
Well, you can stop by. Tell your friends. This is for our boys at a Hit Point game. So, yeah, I've been doing a lot of people's Kickstarters and prototyping characters for indie projects like people's comic books or video games or TCG games, and that is really the most fun thing to do because I mean everyone and their mom knows have 3D printers now, and AI is amazing and all that too. So,
Dude, I gotta say, like, I
make
love
their
when you
stuff,
get
but I like
creative.
making it. Yeah, and I mean, I just have fun making this stuff. You know, uh, more power to everyone with technology and all that, but I get a kick making stuff with you.
Dude, how'd you figure out this light? Because you know, I know each time it's a whole different thing. How did you make this one happen?
I'm trying to get more consistent with it. That one I ran a little light up his staff, and then I was trying to figure out how to turn it on. So I melted down like a little gem crystal that I found and
Right.
kind of fit it in.
That is just like amazing.
It's just so cool that it's, I'm going to say old school Shadow, but this is just really cool how you build these things out with armatures and everything. I just love it. It's really great.
And then on all things like that I make on the spot too.
Yeah, he was making it as we were doing the interviews.
Very cool. Lorax. Love it.
They're adorable.
Yeah.
We got like 3 days, so you know.
Deadpool and Pikachu.
Ryan Reynolds.
Just saying, I thought that was Deadpool.
Well, it makes sense because the guy voices both of them.
Yeah, he does.
Oh my God, you busy.
Yeah, you were. It was so cute.
Yeah, if you guys get a chance, go hit him up at Cradle. He
Captain
does a lot of
Underpants.
stuff. You got Andrew on the side going, I met Shadow at Cradle. He made me a mini Fallout 4 power armor.
Oh.
Dude, those fall.
Little
Yeah, the
armor.
cosplay, dude. All you guys are amazing with the cosplay.
Oh my God, yeah.
I wish I had that kind of dedication to make something large scale. Like sometimes I'm really like, oh, dude, I can do it, and then I realize I don't have that kind of time.
It's funny that he says that, but then he makes these gigantic pieces. Let me see if I can find it over here.
Oh, you guys are incredible, man. And running lights through, like what we could see through the fog of war with oh yeah, Optimus Prime sword there looked awesome for the few moments that we could see it before it disappeared back into the fogs of time. But it
Oh
looked
yeah.
like it looked like it was lighting up and everything too. That was super cool.
Yeah.
I have the background because my place is not the prettiest.
Oh my God, look at that
This
thing.
is for our buddy Butterflies in Space.
Wow.
This prototype. Is he going to be there? Do you know?
He was at the other one, so I'm guessing he might be at this one.
Okay, cool. Because I made a few more heads for him. So.
Oh, that's right. You said see, here's the way Shadow gets creative. He made this thing so now he can change all the heads on it. So it has different heads, different expressions. Dude, you know.
We'll see what happens.
Well, that is so intricate.
Yeah, I kind of like to start from scratch from everything. So, you know, then I can be surprised along with everyone else when I figure out what the heck we're making
Use
together.
that for stop go animation, right? So
That I have been approached for it. Again, I don't have the time to do it sadly at this particular, juncture of my life, but I'd be so excited to make something and see the beautiful videos and artwork someone does with it.
And,
Our
and
friend,
just so you guys can
our
get
friend
an
Carl
idea.
Palladino will be at CradleCon from
Oh, that's
Celebrity
right.
Deathmatch.
Dude, I think you guys need to do a joint project.
Oh, dude.
I can see it now. You can restart the whole franchise.
That's one of the few stop motion movies I ever did when I was, like in high school. Me and my brother finally, spent.
And Shadow, for some
Really
reason,
had timing, but
your voice is coming in and out.
hold on, is this any better?
Yeah, I thought it was just my imagination, but as you guys can see, here's a beautiful little video that he has of him doing this from the bottom up. Just amazing.
Oh my God!
Well, I
Wow.
either angered my earphone worse or anyway.
that's better. It's definitely better.
Oh, that's much better. Yeah.
Okay. I'll see how long that lasts for.
So you were saying?
Call your moms and tip your waitresses, and I'll see you guys at CradleCon.
Don't worry about it. I think I lost it too. I was like, "Where's the thread? Damn it!"
I don't know, man. I'm loosely held together at this point, anyway. So yeah, if you like making little stuff out of clay, I will be there. I'm actually really excited because this time I'm going to set up a kids table
Oh, that's right.
like next to mine.
Hmm.
Yeah, because I mean, one of my favorite critiques as an artist is someone coming up and being like, "Oh, my kid can make that," and my honest reaction is, "Yes, I bet they can." So here's some clay, and let's make Batman's together. And my oldest son is gonna hopefully be joining me and running that table, so I'm really excited for that.
Very cool.
A father
I'm
and
gonna
son
try
Love it.
to.
table. Can't wait.
Yeah, that's cute.
He says he's going to bring all his artwork and sell it there, so I'll see what happens with that. But either way, it should be a lot of fun, and I haven't really decided if I'm gonna, I don't know, sell stuff there or just have kids come up and I don't know. Maybe we'll have a winner of the who's coming to take my gig away from me award at the end of the day or something. I'll give him a free sculpture or something. You know, make Deadpool better than me challenge.
I
That's so
like the challenge. I can't wait to see what you do.
Dude, some of these kids are really good though, and that's awesome
That'd be
because
great, though. That sounds like a lot of fun.
as you guys were saying, just kind of along with the normalizing of getting to dress up as a transformer or talk about Batman in public, it's kind of cool, man. We're adults now. We can normalize this and fear less repercussions of getting beat up for it. So I think
Oh.
that's an awesome time in life that we live.
So you were
I
terrorized in high school as well, Shadow? Is that what you're saying?
I wouldn't. I mean, yeah, a little this, a little that. I wouldn't go that far, but certainly didn't let people know just how into geek culture I was because
Oh no, no! I wore that
you
stuff on my
couldn't at the
sleeve.
time.
I got
It
into
wasn't
trouble for that
as
stuff.
available.
Aw.
You're a brave man, and that's why I'm happy to know you. But
Yeah, I
yeah,
find
so
it hard to not be me.
dude, that's the only person you should be.
Yeah.
Takes some people a long time to realize that, but once you get there, if you're you, at least you can deal with that.
I feel like I do so much work being me that why shouldn't I be me?
You're the only one you have to square up with in the end, so you might as well go out doing exactly what would make you proud in this world. So
And
if
besides,
that is
changing voices and becoming someone else is
Yeah.
so much easier.
the movie phone guy, I mean, eventually he'll, long live the new movie phone
Oh my
guy.
god. I miss the movie phone guy. Hello! If you want to see Batman, press 1.
When it's the new Superman, I'm gonna be there.
That was such a great
But
Seinfeld episode. When Kramer was such when the movie phone guy called him. That
he
was great.
Yeah.
threatened, yeah, he's threatening him. That's good. Yeah, I'm sorry I'm not as eloquent tonight, but I am super excited to see everyone who wants to roll up to CradleCon this weekend. Um, and yeah, I mean, all the other artists and cosplayers, you guys are super cool, and I'm really scared of ghosts now all of a sudden again. But
Good.
I
Bother
mean,
you, give me a
I
call.
hope we're. I think you were looking at a haunted house not far from me too, so that's
In the Hamptons?
we'll talk about that later.
There's a
But
lot.
hey
There's
man,
ghosts
like
everywhere.
They're
that's
all
just a
over the
friend we
island.
haven't met.
Yeah. Yes. And sometimes they just want to play with you forever. It's fine.
It'd be like, we'll be friends to the end.
They just want to keep you for a little while.
Like to be friends?
Forever and ever and ever.
I want to
Come
be
play with me.
Oh, jeez.
That's why my
He's
favorite
freaking me
line
out right now.
that's why my favorite line is still, this is the end, friend. All right, Paul, it's your time. Go for it.
All right, man. So Thanks, Ralph. Time Enforcers is a video game that I created where it makes learning history fun. This came out of COVID when I saw what my kids are going through for a learning experience, and I didn't like learning history the way they was taught. So I felt bad for the educators as well as the kids going through it. So I really wanted to develop a game that would gamify the whole learning experience for kids, and that's what Time Enforcers is. It's based on episodes. Each game is an episode, and episode 1 is out right now, and it's available for the Mac, PC, Android, and iPhone, iPad too, if you want. And I'm really excited about it. It's getting some really good feedback. I'm always looking to get feedback from anyone who plays it because we're working on episode 2 now. So episode 2 is going to be focused around Amelia Earhart, but we'll be introducing some new characters as well. One of them being Detective Nick O'Time, who's based off the old 1940s film noir detectives like Sam Spade, Philip Marlowe, Johnny Dollar, and he will be voiced by our ever-present Rafael Travares. So I'm pretty excited about that.
That guy's awesome.
Love that.
Yeah, it's really cool. And then actually going to be introducing Togo, the sled dog from the 1925 Serum Run in Alaska. And so he'll be helping Nick solve the mystery of locating Kaizen, who was actually captured in episode 1. So really like this whole serial aspect of doing these games. It's really like the Batman series from the 60s, where each game is going to build on itself. And I'm pretty excited about that. And we're also featuring as the main character, Amelia Earhart, and the episode's called Flying into the Chronostorm. So you'll be learning a lot about Amelia Earhart and all her exploits as an aviator. Also as an entrepreneur, she was really a woman ahead of her time. So I really like introducing kids to little known figures from the past. And this really gives me an opportunity to do that. And my hope is that kids will walk away from this and actually start investigating history for themselves, because it's really where it's fun. Is really you find something that you like and then you start researching yourself and then make it become a passion. And that's how I grew up. I went to the libraries as a kid, learning about the Civil War and Lewis and Clark and all that good stuff. And it was really a passion of mine for history. And I'm hoping that we can really make this, again, a passion for kids nowadays. So that's really the whole focus of Time Enforcers.
That's amazing.
Thanks.
I love history.
Thanks.
Wait, are you going to be at the Cradle? Because that's right up your alley, dude.
Yeah, I'm not exhibiting, but I will be attending. I'm looking forward to meeting you, Shadow, because I want to show you some of my stuff, because I'm thinking of some commissions that you could do for me. It'd be great. And I think we easier doing it in person. So I'm really excited about Cradle. I just, I just don't know a lot about these cons. I'm learning as I go. So, and of course, resources is another thing. But anyway, I'm going to be driving out to Long Island on Saturday to see you guys. So I'm really excited to meet all of you in person. It'd be great.
Oh, awesome, man. Looking
So is
forward
the
to it.
professor going to be there, Paul? That's what I want to know.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm not going to be there. That guy in the screen's going to be there, dressed up in his wig. So, Stephanie, I expect a photograph by the time I'm done. Is that okay?
I'll keep a lookout for sure.
I'm pretty noticeable, so you'll see me.
You can't miss that.
No, that'll be on my radar for sure.
Okay, yeah. Because Professor C.T. Haugen is actually a character from my game. He's based off a scientist from the 18th century, Christian Huygens, who actually invented the pendulum. So that's a lot of what's great I find about Time Enforcers. All the characters are based on some sort of character or person from the past, and it's really meant to focus and get kids learning about who these characters really are. So that's what I love about it. It's really a lot of fun.
And I love the fact of how much fun you're having with it. I like the fact that you're cosplaying your own character. I like the fact that you gave me a detective noir character that I can actually go cosplay at a con and still be able to do interviews.
Yeah, I'm going to get you the fedora. I'll get you the trench coat, Ralph. You'll be all set. I have to work up I'm trying to develop weapons for these characters that aren't overly violent, because it's really targeting, kids between 9 and 11. And so being a detective, you're going to have some sort of magnifying glass, right, to look at stuff. So I've came up with this idea for Nick to have what's called a gumshoe debilitator. So it's going to be a magnifying glass that will shoot globs of bubble gum at the enemies to stop them in their track. So
Yeah, I think
Might
they
be a lot of fun.
definitely be good for the homeschoolers.
Oh,
Yeah,
definitely.
Stop by
I
my
look at that's great. You're right along the track, Abigail, because I have kids that come up that are like 6 and 7, probably a little too young for this game. But I really look at it as an opportunity for parents to play along with their kids and almost read it as a book, because it's an interactive comic as well as a role playing game. So that's what is really the whole point, is trying to bridge that gap between storytelling and actually playing a video game. That's because I used to love like the Destinies and all those games that had the cinematic interplay, and just what I found great about playing a game is actually watching the movie as it goes along. So it's kind of inspiration.
Hopefully we talk more about it at CradleCon. I'm gonna have a table set up there.
Definitely, I look forward to meet you, because, like I said, I saw you at Garden State last year. I didn't know who you were though, because you were in the Transformer.
Yeah, you were in the big costume.
Yeah, it's like it was amazing. I was like, I went to my wife. I said, "Will you check this out? This is totally incredible." It was amazing. Yeah, it was really.
It was
cool.
so funny because he was like, "You think she'll take a picture with me?" I'm like, "Yeah, come on, she'll take a pic with you."
I'm not bashful. All my modesty's good out the window. So I'll tell you right now, I really don't care. I'll do anything and everything.
And that's the fun part. That's the fun of it.
Yeah.
Another person that will be there at Cradle, it will be our pal, Game of Tunes. And of course, I love these little blip chips because he made me my character, my Hugbert from the teddy bear superhero. Woo.
They are super fun to play with, dude.
Oh, they are so much fun to play with. If you keep hearing clicking on my end over here, is that I keep playing with it and I can't stop. And I think one of the fun things that he did was he actually made a theme song for his blip chips.
Really? That's awesome.
Blip chips. Blip chips.
I gotta say, so much fun.
Yeah,
so folks, go check out Game of Tunes there. Maybe you can pick up yourself a little Hugbert, because it's my first swag. It's my first
so
teddy bear
cute.
superhero.
Oh my god.
Is he being mass
That's
produced,
adorable.
Ralph? Because if he is, I'll get one. So
Not how cute.
Yeah, I have another character that I'm working on with Russ from Game of Tunes called the Little Devil, and he's a blip chip too, and he's just as cute as this one.
You need a bat one.
I gotta say, I keep buying them from him. So if you get there and they're sold out, it's me.
We'll blame you.
oh god, I can finally been spending so much money this week, and I'm getting scared now.
The good thing about the blip chips is they're $10.
That's reasonable.
Exactly.
Quite reasonable.
And if you like fidget toys, like I do, then you're gonna love these little blip chips.
I love the name.
I gotta say, they're so much fun to say. I can see why he made the theme song. And just to show off our friend Shadow Rabbit, who is an amazing guy, here is the figure he did for my Hugbert.
Oh.
Don't mind he holds my thingies there. That's
incredible.
superhero Hugbert, teddy bear superhero.
So cute.
Too
So
cool.
cool.
Well done.
And I'm hoping that by the end of this year, he will be on Kickstarter. That's the goal.
Yeah. It'll
And it's a nice
happen.
little cute story. It's
We're
adult
making that
and
happen.
kid at the same time, because it's just the way I am.
Yes.
And I like noir, so Hugbert's kind of noir. And I'm looking forward for him coming out. All right, folks, why don't you tell the people one more time where they can find you and all the good stuff as I put it up in the background. Stephanie, you can start.
So you can follow me on my Instagram, SC Photo Design. And I just wanted to say one more thing about CradleCon.
Go for it.
So we have a cosplay zone. So anybody that wants to cosplay or dresses up as cosplay, y'all could go there to get pictures taken, hang around, meet people, and just have fun.
Which is a good thing too, because I like the fact that you they've been doing that more recently, because it kind of helps out with everything, and it gives people a place to go.
Yes, totally. So yeah, so you can follow me on Instagram. I'll be also live posting as well on my feed of all the cosplayers I take photos of.
I love that.
Very cool.
And I'm putting her Instagram into the comment section so you guys can go, Ralph, why didn't you put it in the comment section so I don't have to go look for it?
Thank you, Raphael. Appreciate it.
All right, Abigail, go for it.
All right, so you will find me on my Instagram and Twitch, which are both Mick Heretic. A lot of people call it MC Heretic or Mick Heretic. And my TikTok is the Cosmic Firefox 2000. That's where you find me.
That is a great handle. There we go. I put the Instagram into the comment section. That way you can go find her there. And then from there, you can find all the other beautiful spots because she has it right there in her bio.
Yeah, in my bio, I have I have my link tree set up. So you'll find my TikTok on there as well.
There you go, folks.
As well as my animations on my Rumble page.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, which is like an alternate YouTube kind of. Yeah.
You're like a Jane of all trades.
Yeah, I did those animations back in my teen years. So, and I also learned with, oh gosh, what was the name of that animation? Celebrity Deathmatch, I think. The person who made Celebrity Deathmatch.
Yeah, we were just talking about him. Yeah, he's gonna be there too.
I'm excited to see him. I remember watching that growing up.
Awesome,
Oh yeah,
I still love that show. It's great.
Yeah, he's a great friend. We've known him for a long time now. Yeah, he's gonna be there. Go check him out as well.
Nice.
And all right, Queen of Scream, go for it.
You can find me on Instagram at adream_within_a_scream. And I think it's the same for TikTok and Facebook.
I think so.
Shannon Michelle with one L Collins, the Queen of Darkness. And I have a website, adreamwithinascream.com or thequeenofdarkness.com. They both go to the same place.
Yeah, and go check her out. And it gets all spooky and stuff, and some great pictures. It's a lot of stuff, folks. Go check it out.
Yeah. Yes.
All right, Shadow, your turn.
It's _Clay_guy on Instagram. It's a weird name, but I'm a weird guy. I make little things out of clay, and yeah, I try to have fun with it. Whatever you come up with, custom characters. You want your dog to be a superhero, Pokemon or something you can't find somewhere else. Let me know, and we can have fun together trying to make a really cool sculpture.
And you can show up. You have a scene you want him to do, and he'll do it there on the spot.
Wow. Awesome.
Dude, I love the guy who showed up with the whole TARDIS scene, and you just did that in like, what, an hour? Maybe less?
A cool scene here. I believe Long Island TARDIS is going to be at this event as well. So.
Oh, yeah, they are. And the TARDIS is going to be there.
Okay, well then I think.
So that means we can take pictures with the TARDIS.
A little bit of work to get on.
All right, Paul, go for it.
Okay, so you can find me on social media at Time Enforcers with 2 E's. And if you want to get a link to download the game, go to timeenforcers.com/get. Pretty simple to do. So, like I said, it's on the Mac, it's on the PC, it's on the Android phone and tablet, as well as iOS phone and iPad. So,
all the good stuff, folks. Go check it out. It's a great game. It's a lot of fun. I like history. I'm a big history buff. And having fun with history is always a blast.
Yeah.
And as we're talking, I'm putting all these beautiful links into the comment section so you can go check them out. Yes. There we go.
Comment
Links, comment section. Go, go, go. And of course, folks, this weekend, we are going to be running around with my sponsor, Clipkick, who is a personal social media. So the whole thing is that we're going to have a barcode there that lets you put videos and pictures that only have to do with the Cradle, the Cradle Con, of course, and you guys can share it as a community. So if you see me, come up to me and I'll give you the invite, the barcode for you to come in. And Stephanie will be having it too. So go check it out.
Very cool.
Very cool.
If you find me and you get it from me, you might get something.
What, a sticker?
Oh, a free comic book.
No, he gave out a free comic book. Yeah, it was awesome.
That's amazing.
So if you find me and you download it in front of me and upload a picture, you get a free comic book.
I want a comic book.
Pretty good deal.
I just got a whole bunch of comic books. All these.
Oh, comic books.
Ooh. I think we all want a free comic book.
Oh, definitely.
So excited.
Hey, anytime I hear free comic book, I'm like, ooh.
Yeah.
All right, folks. That has been the show. And of course, here on the Written Writ, when it stops, I do this. I press the button. When it stops,